Welcome to MMT Chats. This episode brought to you by ISCAR with new ideas for machining intelligently. Hey, MMT followers, Christina Fugis back for another quick MMT chat. My guest today is Eric Hecker, who is a sales and project engineer for Eifel in Fraser, Michigan. And he is also the membership chair for the Society of Plastics Engineers Mold Technologies Division. But before we get to Eric, I want to remind everybody to like and share this video, subscribe to MMT's YouTube channel, and hit the bell to get alerts when new videos are available. Hello, Eric.
Hi.
All right, why don't we start off by you telling us or giving us a little snapshot of who is Eifel?
Yeah, Eifel's a mold shop here in Fraser, Michigan. We do complex tooling. Our main niche is steering wheels, foam tools, and airbag covers. It's kind of our niche, and a lot of complex tooling. We also do some small production runs with our new Nissei press. So that's kind of something we're trying to get into. So yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you are a third generation leader at Eifel. So how long have you been in the family business? And let's go through your current role.
Yeah, that's on paper. I've been here for 2 years as like out of college. But I've been around the shop since I was, it's a family business. So I've been around since, 10 years old, sweeping floors. I remember coming on Saturdays with my dad, playing with the modeling clay back in the day as making like little snowmen and stuff. So I've been around for a while. I've touched a little bit of everything here at the shop, from assembly, benching, tooling, spotting to CNC programming. But my current role right now is sales and project engineering, as you stated. So I've been here for 2 years trying to do customer relations and some quoting and trying to do program life management.
So what, outside of being a family business, which maybe I can assume that's what attracted you to this industry, or is there something else that drew you into manufacturing in general?
Yeah. So, first off, I've been blessed that I did grow up in it. There's definitely opportunity there. But I wouldn't say like I was forced. That's something that was never discussed, forcing into kind of get in there. As I still joke around about it that I was forced into it. But since I was young, I loved Legos, loved building things. I loved the actual building process and making things. So it kind of just naturally fit. I was good at math, so I went to engineering and everything just kind of fit. I went into a couple other companies before Eifel, doing some more plastics, right? Because that kind of helped with my resume.
Yep.
But I just like building things and seeing your final product. So which is really cool. So I can type my emails up, but I can also go back there and run our press and grab parts off and look at them. And I just really like building things. It's kind of
that seems to be the common denominator with anybody that enters this field. You have to like to work with your hands and create things, and natural born troubleshooters, figuring things out. So you fall right in line with that. So my next is kind of as a leads nicely into this next question is, I want to know what your number one challenge has been so far, but I just thought of something. It's interesting that you pretty much started your career, like we'll say your official career at Eifel, during a really tough time. Right? The past 3 years have been not normal times. So talk me through that journey.
Well, it's definitely a challenge with what's going on. And I think everyone's kind of seeing that challenge now with the face-to-face. We're here on Zoom, which is a great tool that we can still get some face-to-face interaction. But, it is tough not being able to go into customers, their place of work and talk and show parts. And, when you talk about the parting lines or something on a part, it is very tough to try to get your point across. So you do got to be detail oriented. And, luckily we do have tools like this that help out, but it's been tough.
Yeah. So in the whole, everything that you've learned so far about the business and the trade itself, what has been the number one challenge in terms of learning it?
In terms of learning the trade, there's so much new technology coming out these days with mold building, like conformal cooling is a big thing coming on right now with stuff like that. So that's a new product that we're dabbling in with some customers too. So like just technology in general, it's something that you have to be on top of, which at Eifel, we've done a pretty good job here at that, buying CNC machines that can help us with getting to those hard to reach undercuts, to make our molds, help out with our customers with their part ideas. You know, sometimes we have to make them manufacturable. So I would definitely say technologies, along with what we got going on the past couple of years, that was, you know, definitely some challenges.
What would you say is your favorite or the most impactful piece of technology Eiffel has?
I mean, I'm a little biased because I love running the injection mold machine in the back.
Okay.
We just got a Nissei 360 injection mold machine.
Okay.
So like it was kind of the same time I came on board about 2 years ago. And I kind of was like the intricate part of like starting with that. So I kind of like learned it all the way up and everything. So, I mean, the screen's like an iPad. It's the coolest thing in the world. You can see the numbers. I mean, it's like 0.001 plus minus. Like it's the mold temperatures, the pressures. It's really cool to see. So that's why I'm perfect. And I like to see the part come out too.
I was going to say, so you're making the molds, and those molds you're also running. You're running the parts.
Yeah. So we do design, we machine all the way to run it. So kind of like you can get us the part and we'll make the tool, everything all the way through the shop.
Okay.
So whole life management cycle is what we're trying to do.
Got it. I also think it's nice for you that coming into a family business, if the molding part is newer, that is kind of your baby. Like you're bringing that to the business, which is happening within a lot of shops, or getting into the production molding side of things. Like they're going way beyond tryout and sampling and really finding they can make what a lot of mold builders say to me is we get into molding because that's where we make our money to fund our passion of mold making.
Yeah. I mean, so what Eifel is here is we're mold makers first. That's that's what we say. But I am the next kind of generation, like you said. I'm trying to kind of take that and move it into some sort of small production, some sort of maybe like a sister company or something like that. But yeah, we're mold builders first. So it's really cool that we can try out our machines and test them before a customer run and stuff like that to work out all the little kinks. And
exactly. Definitely getting into molding has to make you a better mold builder.
Yeah.
Right. Being able to troubleshoot and work that out, those two worlds coming together. So keep me posted on as that grows, because that's something we could talk about in the magazine.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's jump over to the people side. So I know Eiffel, I think it says it on the website. You guys are really passionate about working locally with schools, talking about the trades. So tell me exactly, what are you doing? Are you doing something different than other shops in the area?
Well, the cool part is there are other shops in the area that do what we do. So a lot of there's some other shops like Midwest Mold. They're a good company around here that they talk to local schools as well. So I wouldn't say we're doing something different, but we're just trying to really get manufacturing out there, right? There's a lot of people that like are really good at building things and hands-on and that forward approach we talked about, but it's really just people don't know. And I think it's just getting the word out there, really. And I'm going to Fraser High School here soon to talk. And you know, no offense to high schoolers or anything like that, but when they see an older person come in and talk about, oh, back in the day, not that that's a disrespectful thing, because when you see someone younger talk about manufacturing, like you have a lot of people on this platform that talk that are younger. That talk about that. And I think that's really, really helping getting manufacturing out there to the young people. Like, whoa, this is something I can pursue. This is something that I can start right away, make a great living, and be passionate about my work. So,
and yeah, you're right. A younger person talking to the younger people is just more relatable. And they're actually, you're automatically saying, oh, there's a future here, because you're not somebody where the average age is in their 60s now, right? So that's a good point. Okay. So what does training and apprenticeship look like within Eiffel?
So that's a great question. So when people come over, we kind of try to get them learning the whole process, right? So earlier I talked about design to making a part. The biggest thing we like to do is get them into touching a mold and seeing what a mold is. Some people don't even know what a cavity and a core is, right? There's two halves. So trying to get them intricated into what actually a tool is and a mold is something that we try to get in right away. And then we kind of see where and move them into different departments like design and CNC, see what they're passionate about, really, because I can say from personal experience, I do not like design that much. I did not like that. So there's nothing wrong with it. I just wasn't I
That's
didn't
not
like
how you
being,
work.
yeah, I just like building things and seeing things come about. So, if I went through an apprenticeship program, kind of like we do today, I probably would be sticking to the back and in the mold press and CNC as opposed to design. So really try to gear them towards what they're passionate about and what their skills show.
I like that because that's setting them up for more success than, I don't know, pigeonholing them and what you think they should do. Like
Yeah.
you're kind of reading them, because otherwise you'll lose that person. So I like that you're trying to figure out what's drawing their interest, right? What part of this process, and let's teach them that first, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So that ties nicely into your role at SPE-MTD. I used to serve, I think I was the secretary for 5 years
Oh,
with that
awesome.
little niche group, who does a great job of just trying to get out there and educate and do exactly what you just said that Eifel's doing, is get that next generation. So you're a fresh face there. And I'm pretty sure if you're the membership guy, you have to have some sort of mission to draw in that next generation to be members of this group. So what's your strategy?
Well, that's a good question. So I just started serving. I think I'm coming up on a year term here shortly. Just kind of get my feet wet. I'm serving. Luckily, I was connected with Scott Peters, who's very intricate into the whole SPE. I think he's been on
Forever.
Yeah. But he kind of got me into this, and I'm trying to learn what's going on, but trying to get the demographic and where people are joining from, why people are leaving, and again, just by putting it out there, posting on different platforms. I know we've been posting on LinkedIn a lot. So there's stuff like we're trying to do that. I know that's a good platform. We're sponsoring. I think I saw in a previous MMT chat here that we're sponsoring a young apprentice, a young lady. So that was something we're trying to get out there, show that there is, the young generation to join, and just trying to network. It's kind of what we're trying to do. So
are there any events coming up that the audience needs to know about? Well, besides, you will be at PT Expo, right? The division is exhibiting at PT Expo March 29th through the 30th, right? So you'll be there.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there at the booth to talk, to network, to try to maybe get some surveys to see what we can do better to, reach out if it's, videos like we're doing here, just to chit chat and stuff. So just kind of get everyone's opinions and see what we can go with those.
It is interesting when I think about, and actually you can speak to this because you're on the other side of it. You're a mold builder. I always find it challenging for the mold builder. There are a lot of key associations, right? Within our space, what you and I are talking about, the American Mold Builders Association, there's SPE, Mold Technologies. There's the Plastics Association that has an equipment council that does mold making. There's, the TMAs, the NTMAs, and there's the national chapters and the local chapters. So it's really key for associations. And I think all of them struggle with this. What is your differentiator? Like, why should someone join? Because can you answer this? Like, can a shop be active in all of them? It's like, how is SPE-MTD different from AMBA, different from plastics, different from TMA? I think that's the challenge, is to say, this division is this, and that's all we're going to do. And don't try to make it muddy by doing kind of what the AMBA does also, and kind of what plastics does.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can't answer that right now, but I mean, those other organizations that you said, those are great organizations, obviously. And we're just, in our previous meetings, we meet, a little bit, once a month, I believe. And one of my questions was to everyone, how do we differentiate ourselves? And that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Again, get my feet wet, trying to figure out what's going on. I am one of the younger faces on the chair board, so try not to step on too many toes, but I think a lot of people are trying to understand exactly that question that you said.
Yeah.
So,
because you're the target audience. Right.
true.
So you know better than Scott Peters or me. You are the target audience, but Scott has just a wealth of people connections, a wealth of knowledge, and endless passion for what he wants to do. I wish it could just really hold on. I believe it's the education end. I believe that when I can remember looking at the membership and seeing the titles on there of the people that maybe they weren't so much active, but they were members, and the titles were people that were technical in nature. So it's like, God, my advice is to go toward that. and emphasize to the next generation, this is a place where you can come get information you need to do your job better versus
Absolutely.
advocacy, all that kind of stuff that you get from other groups. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I digress. Okay. Here's my final question. When you think about the future of mold making and that future mold making professional, what do you, and we could be looking, everyone keeps talking about 2030 as a big year, but we could even be looking 20 years down the line. Who's that going to be? What is that person going to be doing? What are the skills they're going to have? What are the personality traits and characteristics? Define that for me.
Well, that's a good question. So I definitely think one is they have to be a forward thinker and a self motivated. I think that's something that, if you have that in any field, you're going to excel, right? But especially with that technology base that I've been talking about, things are getting faster, things are getting less and less human interaction, right? Like lights out machining, something that we're trying to push, so that's that forward thinking. So just being able to want to exhibit your skills and go after something, I think you're going to excel a lot with that. But just learning the technology is going to be a tough thing to do, right?
Yeah.
There's always something coming out. But I definitely think a lot of things are going online like we're doing today, but I think you got to have personal skills as well, because you have to be able to speak technically about things.
Yep.
Because our profession is technical, right? We're talking thousands of inches, millimeters here and there, right? To degrees for lifters to pull and things of the sort like that, and how to run a tool at this temperature as opposed to this temperature gives a better part. So I definitely think that you have to speak technically, but also being able to have people skills as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that will never go away.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I wonder sometimes, as things have changed, if relationships have been so key to this community for so long, to building that trust and to getting new business and keeping business, and the way communication just like this has changed. It's like, I hope that next generation doesn't think this is a replacement for getting out in the field, getting to customers and building relationships, because that's when the magic happens, right?
Right.
But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's going to be a new way of making relationships, and it won't be the face-to-face. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see when we get there.
Yeah, we'll see when we get there. All right. Well, thank you, Eric. Thank you for your time. It was good to get to know you. I will be checking in with you to see how things are progressing with Eifel and with the division. And if you need me for anything, just let me know. And to everybody out there watching, visit MoldMakingTechnology.com for everything mold making, and stay informed and stay inspired.
Thank you.